So today I'm going to be giving you what I assume will be your very first look at Einstein Copilot. And so this isn't publicly out and available for orgs yet. It's not available until Dreamforce. I'm not like a wizard or anything. I'll tell you exactly how I got this and how you can get access to it as well. So if you go to Trailhead and then you do the trail, it's a specific Trailhead, build AI assistance with Einstein Copilot. And you want to do this Trailhead specifically. And then when you do this Trailhead, you'll get access your Einstein to an Einstein AI playground for 14 days. And you can see mine expires in 14 days. And so for the next 14 days, I have full access to what we're looking at here on the front end, which is Einstein Copilot. And so before I dive into the front end of this, let me dive into the back end, because I have followed Salesforce AI development for a while now, because it's been intriguing to me as to Salesforce's ventures into building AI. And so the very first thing that I have noticed is that for the last few years or so, Salesforce has been dropping AI models, like LLM models, like ChatGPT style models. And they've been increasingly more and more proficient at this. And then so they've been putting resources into it. And then so on the back end, Einstein Copilot is an LLM model designed and built by Salesforce. And then the other thing that is interesting to me about this particular model that they've built is the agent capabilities. They've gone all in on the agent benchmarks. If you look at the back-end benchmarks for this particular model and for Einstein Copilot, it scores extremely high on agent benchmarks and higher than any other LLM model, including ChatGPT 4, etc., when it comes to agent actions in Salesforce specifically. So Salesforce did their homework, they did their job, and this model is very efficient. So to me, there's two main reasons why you would want Einstein Copilot, and what two main things that Salesforce has done really well with regards towards their AI release, in my opinion. And it's their trust layer and their investment into agent architecture. And then so diving into the trust layer, I'll dive into that specifically before we dive into the hands-on here. But so with the trust layer, it's very specifically what it means is that no data that you ever pass to an LLM model is ever remembered by the LLM model. And this is crucial, and this is going to be a huge selling point for AI, for Salesforce AI, and from Salesforce very specifically. Like, I think that they're going to lean on this very heavily because they had to do a lot of contract negotiation in order to do this. Because what this means is that even if you're using ChatGPT, OpenAI models, if you're using it with Salesforce, it won't store the information. Like, no other platform can say that, right? So Salesforce must have paid a lot of money for that exclusivity, allowing you, if you want to bypass the Einstein Copilot and use ChatGPT or any other sort of model, you can within their trust framework. And it operates, an external model operates just the same as if we were utilizing Einstein Copilot, which is a key part of their framework. And a lot of that is due to gates and gating, right? About maybe 2.5 years ago, I did an extensive project where I did a backend for a Fortune 500 that was very interested in AI, but they had a lot of severe restrictions with regards towards data and what could actually pass to the systems and what actually couldn't. And what I ended up building and architecting for them is very honestly a lot of that gates and measures systems that are built out within Einstein Copilot. I'll make another lecture where we dive deeper into these features, but just highlighting that overall. So with the front end of Einstein Copilot, it's again the secondary component of beyond the trust layer is actions and being able to do things, right? So let's start and dive into this a bit. Within Einstein Copilot, it has built-in standard actions. And the standard actions are what we can see here that we're highlighting here. So it can identify a record by name. It can summarize a record. It can query records with aggregate. It can draft or revise an email. It can identify an object by name, and it can query records. So it can do all of these things out of the box. Within this, as you would expect, these are standard actions. We can create custom actions within this, right? And then we're not just stuck with these standard actions. And then with custom actions, when we build custom actions, we can go deep into it and we can build out based off of flows, apex triggers, or workflow rules. So we have like all three options or prompts as well. So we have 4 options in which these models can utilize actions. And the best thing, I think another key selling point of this, I think will be huge for this is, again, apex triggers and flows, right, are the two. So within this, you can set up actions and AI actions to perform and execute flows and apex triggers without code. They built all of this with the clicks not code mindset. So for the first time ever in a Salesforce environment, if you're not a developer and you want to build out apex triggers, you have access to it via actions. And I think that's going to be a huge feature moving forward. You're going to see more and more admins become extreme power users and step over into developer territory and literally with AI's assistance be able to build out flows, more complex flows with code, and then as well as apex triggers, which is like territory that an admin hasn't been able to cross over into before, right? So I think that's a huge benefit of this. And then your next, the question that I would ask myself within this is how effective is this at these agent actions, right? And then so at this point, Salesforce has had a lot of failures and a lot of pivots with regards towards ancillary technology. I think that they're all in on AI very specifically, which is, again, if you've been watching their progress, you can see that that's the case. And so at this point, I don't think that they're releasing a product without knowing exactly what they're doing, and the benchmarks speak for themselves. Again, they released the benchmarks on this a few weeks ago, so a lot of people have had a lot of time to digest them, and you can see it across the board. When it comes to the Salesforce environment specifically, no one else can beat this particular model in regards towards performance. It's not going to err. And it will do its job with regards towards what you want it to do. You can chat with the model here. You can do conversational previews. And then one thing I will highlight within this video, very important to highlight within this, is that you do have event logs within this, right? And then so you can track and see via event logs everything that happens within your org. It doesn't, so by default, and this could be good or bad for your org, so I'm going to highlight it. By default, these event logs don't capture and store like your actual conversations, like your employees' prompts and conversations with the model. If you want that off, it's off by default. If you want that on, you have to turn it on. And then just highlighting that again, so that would store for 7 days all prompts, conversations, like anything, like any interactions at all for your employees with the model. So like you can actually get more access to privacy than you would with other means. Like Salesforce built this from the ground up with privacy concerns in mind, which is why I think that they're going to get a huge chunk of the AI market because of these, like the trust layer and the fact that there's no better agent system for Salesforce specifically. Like they did their homework, they're smart within this, they're invested in AI. Einstein Copilot, showing you the front end here. It's got 2 thumbs up from me so far. If you want to play around with it yourself, check out, just create a Trailhead organization and do the Trailhead. Sign up for the Trailhead. You get 14 days free access. Go ahead and play around with the Einstein Copilot to your heart's content. I'll make more in-depth videos with regards towards building out copilots, etc. in future lectures. Thank you very much.